What is going on, beta viewers? My name is Cote, and I have an NU tier battle here against AreYouBrownXP or AreYouBrownXD. I'm not really sure which little face at the end of his name he prefers. I have seen both. His Skype name is one and his YouTube is the other, so... originally I wanted to have a UU against this guy because I had a sick UU team that I've been using and actually having some success with against OU people, but... he told me that in 4th gen all he had was one NU team because he's pretty much moved on to 5th gen. I haven't really moved on yet, I really need to get on that. Anyways, so I also had built an NU team recently. I just hadn't gotten around to testing it yet, so I thought, well, I may as well see how it goes. So I've got a Cradily lead and he's got Perugly, so obviously that thing can super effective U-turn, but honestly I'm not too afraid of that because Cradily is a beast. I take that hit very well, considering it was life orbed. And I'm just going to set up my rocks, and he goes into an Espeon. This Espeon has the potential to wreck me. It could be Specs, it could be Scarf, I'm not even sure. But whatever I want to do, I'm going to switch into Articuno just before he sets up rocks, and because it's a special wall. Based on the damage that it does, that tells me he's probably Specs, but I don't know for sure. So he switches into Hypno, and I just go for Roost because he hasn't set up rocks yet, but that doesn't mean he won't. And I don't have a spinner on this team, which is kind of an oversight. It's kind of a major problem. And right here, I totally expect it to be faster. I was like, he's probably going to Toxic me, I'm going to sub, and I should be way faster. But apparently his Hypno packs some speed, which really surprised me. And that's going to pretty much wreck my Articuno because, yeah, it just is. Because, like, it just does. Because the Toxic means it can't stay and install, which is what it's meant to do. I could heal Bell, but by then he'll have rocks up, and I'll be taking half damage from that. So I get my Toxic on him. Thankfully, it doesn't miss, and I'm gonna switch out now and go to my Espeon because I know I can take an S-Toss fairly well, like not too bad. I do have leftovers, so I should be able to take 2 or 3, 3 or 4 actually. And I'm just going to go for a Calm Mind right off the bat. I guess he predicted a Shadow Ball. I guess he predicted me to be Choice, and it's a good thought, but no, I'm not. Yeah. So this Espeon is really weird because it has Calm Mind, Baton Pass, and Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is its only attack. The purpose of this thing is to Baton Pass a few Calm Minds to Ampharos. My Ampharos is mostly physically bulky. So the idea is Baton Pass a few boosts to it and potentially sweep. But because he has Perugly, which is going to be faster and have a super effective move, I need to have a sub up if I'm going to kill anything with Espeon, because Espeon still has potential to kill some things. Anyways, he went to Perugly, breaks my sub, and now he's got Sandslash in there. I set up another Calm Mind because I knew I wouldn't take any damage from his U-turn because I had sub. And I'm just going to Shadow Ball here. I'm not really sure what he wants to do. Earthquake actually probably would have killed me, so that was kind of dumb on my part. Thankfully he Stealth Rocks. And I guess he could have predicted me to sub, I don't know. But now, right here, I'm going to go for a sub because I know I'm going to be faster. Unless that thing's like... Unless I was min speed and he was max speed, but whatever. And I kind of was hoping he'd Rapid Spin trying to get rid of my rocks. Just in a suicide effort because I thought maybe he'd think... I'd attack, but I didn't. It didn't really work out, and now I'm screwed. I know I have to kill this thing now, and he's just going to go into Perugly, which is going to be faster and going to be able to U-turn. So it really sucks that I had to waste those 2 Calm Minds like this, but I gotta switch. I can't stay in. So I'm gonna swap out and I go to Gastrodon because Gastrodon is win. He has rocks up now, so Articuno is essentially useless at this point. I might be able to salvage it if I'm lucky. He fakes out, I guess trying to make sure that the U-turn would kill, even though it does like 90% to Espeon. And then now he's going to U-turn now, and I haven't even hit that thing yet. It's already half dead just because of Stealth Rocks and Life Orb, which is awesome because that thing's a fast sweeper. I went for Stockpile predicting him to U-turn into something, and he U-turned into Quagsire. So obviously that thing's probably going to want to Toxic me. Unfortunately for him, I'm not too concerned about that because I do have Heal Bell on my Ampharos. Ampharos has Heal Bell and then 3 attacks, so it's pretty awesome. My Gastrodon is Toxic now. I do have a stockpile up, so I'm kind of reluctant to switch. I'm going to go for Recover first because I think that'll end up with more health after the Earthquake and the Toxic and the Leftovers again. So we're just going to see that. I was at 307, so I guess it panned out. I don't really have anything else that I can do to this thing. So Gastrodon's going to bite the dust, or Gastrodon's going to, what's a word for get out? Get out of dodge. There we go. And I thought maybe he'd continue going for Earthquakes, but unfortunately he saw this coming a mile away, and he told me in the chat, he's like, I totally predicted that, and that was good. That was a good move by him. He goes right back into his Hypno, and his Hypno is, as we already determined, faster than my Articuno, so Articuno can't get up a Roost like I originally planned to. I wanted to dodge that stupid Earthquake and then Roost. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So it doesn't really matter because he got Rocks up. Articuno was pretty much useless. At least it Toxic something. And so it wasn't totally useless in the end. It did Toxic this Hypno, which turned out to be pretty clutch. So I'm going to go into my Ampharos because Ampharos has massive HP. It'll be able to take an S-Toss, but I actually planned on just going for the Heal Bell right off the bat. It turns out his Hypno's faster than Ampharos too. I guess Ampharos is kind of slow. But anyways, he Toxics me, and it immediately goes away because of the Heal Bell, which is totally awesome. It just puts another turn of Toxic on him. He's going to go for a Wish right here, and as I go for Thunderbolt. And honestly, the hope here was that the Toxic would take it out because he's been in here for like 5 turns. Unfortunately for me, that's not the case. He manages to live with 11 HP, he told me. And now the Protect is obvious, but I don't really want to switch to anything. Like, I could have went to Kingler, but I wasn't really sure that would be worth it. I wasn't sure if he had something to take water hits really well, so I just stayed in because I don't really have anything else I want to do, and now he's got to switch because the Toxic is really racking up on him. And I thought he'd go to Quagsire because he'd think that I'd T-Bolt, and he would dodge the T-Bolt with Quagsire. Unfortunately for him, I saw that coming and went for Focus Blast, and that does a pretty good chunk to the Quagsire. And right here, I check my hidden power, and it turns out it's Ice for all those Dragon types in NU. That's just a huge oversight on my part. I should have had HP Grass, or even, I don't know what else, what other hidden power I could have had, but definitely a lot of things are better than Ice, especially when I have Articuno. I shouldn't have Ice. Here I'm going to go for Recover, and then right after this I'm going to make the biggest bonehead play that I could have made. I was totally in Swampert Think mode. Right here, I thought, well, he's Water Ground, he's going to take neutral damage from water, and I'm going to get stabbed from it, so let's go for Surf, because that'll take him out, that'll help take him out quicker. But then, right after I clicked the button, I was like, wait, Water Absorb. And I just felt like such an idiot for doing that play. That was just a boneheaded play. That was just dumb. That was totally dumb. Like, look at my Gastrodon's name. It's Water Ground, and its name is Baby Pert. Obviously, I'm thinking that thing's a little mini Swampert, and Swampert takes neutral from water. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just hit it. But that was dumb. He Toxics me anyways, and we recover. And that extra quarter of health was really helping him out right here. But it's not really too big of a deal because I do have a Grass-type attack still on this team in Cradily, so I think I'm going to switch to that right now. Actually, yes I do. I switch to that, and I could Seed Bomb, I could Recover, I could do a lot of things. The Earthquake's not going to do too much because I'm neutral to it, and I have massive defense. So, yeah, I'm definitely, after Lefties, I'm definitely going to be able to take another one of those. I guess he thinks I'm a Stockpile variant, even though I did lead off with Stealth Rocks. And he's going to go for a Toxic here, rather than a Recover. I think a Recover would have helped him more, or even just switching would have helped him more, but, he did what he did, and his Toxic turns out to miss, so I get a free heal, which is always awesome. He was a little angry at that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't turn out to be any kind of a deal at all. So right here, I'm going to go for a Seed Bomb, and that Seed Bomb is going to, yes, ×4 super effective from a Cradily. It is definitely going to be able to do 2 pixels of health. So now I'm not really sure what he's got left. He's got Hypno apparently, and I'm just going to be able to Seed Bomb this thing. Unfortunately for me, he is going to get the Toxic, but that's not going to do too much. And his Hypno was on a clock anyway. No recovery. Well, I guess Wish Protect, but whatever. That would have just racked up more Toxic on himself. In comes a Typhlosion. So obviously that thing's going to be packing up really, really hard-hitting Fire-type move, but I think I could probably live one fairly easily and then hit him with Stone Edge, but I miss. So that makes up for the Toxic Mix for sure. And I'm thinking in my head he's probably Scarfed, so like a Scarf Typhlosion, yeah, probably. So critical hit didn't matter. So I'm gonna go into my Kingler here, and I've got to pray that I can take a hit. He's at a quarter health, and Stealth Rocks actually turns out to be a huge factor here, because if he was at full health, I am completely confident that would have KO'd me. And I managed to survive the eruption and hit him with the Crab Hammer. I knew this in my head, but I didn't say anything in the chat. Because he was faster, I knew he was Scarfed at that point. Anyways, in comes Perugly. That thing's definitely going to be faster. Even though I am Scarfed, I'm slow and he's fast. So I'm going to go to Ampharos. I'm going to take the Fake Out. Not too badly. And I'm actually going to get the Static Paralyze, which that really sucks for him. And that's pretty much going to limit any kind of comeback he could have had. And I'm just going to go for Focus Blast. I could have went for T-Bolt, but, you know, I felt like taking a risk, being a boss, and that's what I did. So he's down to his last guy, and it's Espeon. And if this thing's Scarfed, he could potentially come back, like all the way back. This Psychic does a lot, but because I don't have any special defense EVs, because this Ampharos is supposed to take a few Calm Minds, that's gonna really wreck me. So I'm not sure if he's Scarf or Specs. I'm thinking he's probably Specs, and I actually get a T-Bolt off, and I get the Paralyze. So because that Espeon is now slow, and it may not even be able to attack, anything I have is definitely going to be faster, and that's pretty much the gravy, the icing on the cake, the final nail in the coffin. In the end, we talked about it, and it turns out he is Specs Espeon, so my Scarfed Kingler, which is Jolly, by the way, would have been able to outspeed it anyways, so there was something there, but without the hacks, it probably would have been a lot closer. It probably would have been a 1-0, but anyways, that was a great match, AreYouBrown, and I'm definitely looking forward to a lot more with you. Everybody that's watching at this point still, be sure to check out both of our channels. We're both, he's a really chill guy. I enjoy watching his stuff, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching my stuff, because I really enjoy pumping it out for you. So, Scott, I'm coming for you, man. Be ready.